Hello, everyone. Apologize for that. Go figure. This is MB Geek. Welcome to MB Geeks. Let's talk and talk about kicking off the new year very well. Apologize again. I'll try to refrain from that. Was Cobra Kai season 3 dropped on Friday. I watched half of this show on Friday with Madam Geek. Watched the other half today. And I must say, I did not know you could catch lightning in a bottle 3 times, but somehow Cobra Kai has managed to do it. They did it with storytelling, character development. Some characters went and changed in good ways. Hey, Bees, what's up? Bees, have you seen Cobra Kai yet? So, we had a very interesting third season that I'll be honest did not go exactly the way I thought it would. I thought it would go in some of the directions it did, but some characters, all the characters literally grow and do change at certain points. Some for better, some for not. That's okay, man. This is a spoiler-free review. But these characters, even the ones that you probably didn't like in season 2, do actually have some backstory to them. I'm not saying that's going to justify what some of them did, but it is the case. Everybody's got a sob story. Everybody's got baggage. Everybody's got a backstory that goes with them. It's how we deal with it in the future. So, if you haven't seen season 2 or 1, I'm sorry, this is a spoiler part. So, this picks up roughly a week and 2 weeks and so after the fight at All Valley High, where Miguel and Robbie and Tori, and now I'm forgetting Daniel's child's name, but they all got into a fight, and ultimately Miguel falls off the second story of a balcony and damn near basically you look like he breaks his back. He's been in a coma for a few weeks. Johnny is, of course, handling this the way you would expect Johnny to handle it, which is obviously not stable. Danny, his wife, his are dealing with trying to find Robbie, and they're dealing with that, plus the fallout from the rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi Do. It's looking like things are not looking too rosy for the LaRussos. Like, people are blaming them, and in some ways, you can't say you blame them. Just like you can't necessarily, you don't blame Cobra Kai. Kreese took over and poisoned exactly what Johnny didn't want. So now Johnny's basically kind of hit a point. He's given up. But there is hope. There is redemption. It starts building throughout the episodes. There's a point even where, one of the characters is like, I thought we were the good guys. Well, sometimes we are the good guys. And then there's another scene where it's like, where they talk about somebody feels betrayed. One of the characters feels like they've been betrayed, and this causes them to go into a separate direction that we wouldn't approve of. But sometimes doing the right thing does not always feel good and does not always mean you're going to get rewarded for it. That's just a painful, unfortunate reality of situations. I'm very happy with every character that was developed further. Uh, I did have some gripes. Uh, there was a couple of scenes in there, and I'll get into this tomorrow with my spoiler full report. There's a scene with one of the characters kissing another character, and I'm like, I'm not really sure this fits in with the story. They're kind of hinting at it in the story, but kind of like, I'm just not really seeing how this plays out. This might get explained later, but it just seemed a little off. Now, there is a return of one of the classic characters from Karate Kid. Spoiler if you don't know, but you'll probably figure it out. I was not sure that person would come back. I was very pleasantly surprised that they did come back. It actually added some good context and actually helped our two protagonists, Johnny and Daniel, out. Daniel does go to Japan. It's not for as long as I thought it was or for the reasons I thought it was. But somehow they managed to make it make sense why he goes back. I like the interaction between him and several of the characters from Karate Kid 2, especially the girl he was dating. I cannot think of her name, sorry. And Chosen is there too. And it was nice to kind of see that interaction, 30 plus years later, are they going to still be dicks to each other like Johnny and Daniel are, or is this something that's put aside? So that was nice to get that kind of stuff answered. Uh, Definitely tied up some nice, not loose ends, but just kind of added some closure to, say, Karate Kid 2 in several areas. And there was a surprise twist in that I did not see coming. I was actually very surprised, and I thought, wow, I know that's a Deus Machina, but I thought it was pretty good. So overall, I would give the show's pacing was very good. Not as good as the last two seasons, but still good. I give it about an 8. One of my disappointments is, and I'll get into more of this in the spoiler section tomorrow, is there were a couple of characters that didn't show back up. One of them I understood probably why, but they just kind of weren't there. And then another one was explained away, and I was kind of like a little bummed out. I like that character. You'll probably figure out who I'm talking about because it gets brought up pretty early. But all the characters are really still going through a lot of trauma. Robbie's going through trauma. Um, Miguel's going through, of course, a lot of trauma. Even Hawk is going through trauma, and I was really hoping some things would change for Hawk's character, and they did. We shall see if that was good or bad. But certain characters did change. Robbie changed. I was kind of surprised at how that went. Uh, Danny and Johnny can't seem to figure out if they're going to get along or if they're going to want to beat their heads in all the damn time. Even I think sometimes his wife is kind of like wanting to scratch her head and be like, "Are you serious?" But there are moments where his wife, yeah, PCAT, I did too. I did too, and I'll talk more about that on the spoiler-free one. So that's why this one's so short because I'm kind of trying to talk around this stuff. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that that character was gone. I was a little surprised in certain other areas. I did read about the actor who plays Kreese helped craft Kreese's backstory. And I thought, okay, it was a good backstory. We really get a good understanding of Kreese's backstory. I'm not saying this forgives him, but like anything else, as I always say, context matters. So now you get kind of an idea on why he is the way he is, what put him on that path. And I will say this, Johnny being Johnny, he tries to first off pretend he's something he's not. Then he finally is just like, you know what? Now this is who I am. This is what I've done. Really kind of has an opening up moments a few times in this episode, and has to swallow a few bitter pills, and so does Danny, and so does many of the other characters. They all kind of have to kind of reflect on who they are. Some of them do a really good job of that, and unfortunately, some of them reflect on who they are and uh go the wrong way. Hey, PCAT, yeah, he came off as a good fashion, good classic villain. Yes, yeah, I would agree. That did come off as really good. It was really well written. Actually, most everything was well written. Every character's interaction, every character's choices, decisions as you see go through, I found I could understand why they thought this way. I could understand why Robbie feels betrayed. I could get that. And he's reaching out. He's like, I'm gonna, he doesn't even realize he's just looking for someone to give him hope. But unfortunately, the two people he looked up to, he feels have betrayed him. And so, of course, sometimes when you feel the people you should trust betray you, you go for the people you shouldn't. Uh, Miguel, oh God, what a great story for him. I was actually surprised at the pacing they did with his character, with his recovery. Yes, spoiler alert, folks, he does recover. Sorry, that is a spoiler. I will put that in there. But the way he recovers, I really enjoyed. Uh, I enjoyed how Daniel's daughter had to overcome. While Miguel is going through physical trauma, she's going through mental trauma. And as Madam Geek and I both know what PTSD is about, we and have both seen both physical and mental tragedies. We understood, the differences. We could see it, and I don't know if other people in the audience watching this could see it. Seeing a physical challenge is one thing. When you see that mental challenge, though, I mean, it is a sight to see when you're able to recognize that kind of stuff. And so as we saw it and we saw some of the trauma going on, it was like, okay, I can see this. Going to a PTA meeting and seeing everybody upset. Yeah, I've been to a few of those. They're not fun. It's one of the reasons I stopped because nobody ever listens. But this was honestly a great third chapter in this show. Hands down, I am looking forward to hopefully in 2022. Maybe we get lucky, we get it at the end of 2021, but 2022, we'll get season 4. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, folks, this was going to be a very short, spoiler free for the most part, as best I can. So thank you, PCAT. Thank you, Bees Nest, for coming in. Hope you guys can come by tomorrow, maybe even come in the panel. We're going to talk Cobra Kai Season 3. Madam Geek's going to be with me, and we're going to go spoiler filled. So with that being said, everyone have a good one. Peace and long life to everybody.